All right, so now let's move on to our day-to-day technical work that we're doing on the mats. How do we really put into practice everything that I just talked about with creating our game and working to get closer and closer towards our vision, our ultimate black belt level you that is ever evolving and always getting better, okay? So let's get into a couple, our rule number 2 and an extra piece to it, all right? So understand this, and this is so huge, and it's as simple as it sounds. Your ego is always going to be your own worst enemy. So this is a reminder right here. Rule number 2, there is no winning or losing in training, all right? I tell you what, it's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine if I ask one of my students, hey, how was training today? And they say, oh, great, I won every round. I'm like, what are you talking about? What does winning mean? Are you counting points? Are you counting advantages? Are you thinking that you would have got the decision if it came down to a decision? Or I only lost one round. Okay, there is no loss, there is no win. The losing in a round could be the best thing ever possible for you on that night. It could have been the best thing that you needed, and I would take that as a win, 100%, right? So, once again, this is going to be mindset. We're sprinkling in some mindset inside this technical discussion, but this is going to be key in helping us with our approach, because we are going to have to limit ourselves and put ourselves in different situations and do specific training that isn't the most fun, that could be exactly what we're worst at, right? We are going to have to do those things to make sure that we are constantly improving, and not just a little bit, but a lot, all right? The game would have passed me by over a decade ago, right? I'm 2 decades in as a black belt now. And like I said, the game would have passed me by a long time ago if I just wanted to keep up with being the black belt in the room and being the best guy in the room, and didn't do the proper training that I needed to do to keep myself evolving and keep myself up to date with the times and, continually learning, continually getting better. It wouldn't have happened if I had the wrong mindset or the wrong approach. So this is going to be key. And inside of that is the golden rule that you hear everyone say, all right, it can't be said enough. It can be, once again, our egos and how we decide if we're going to win the round or not, or what game we're going to play or whatever, because we look around and we find ourselves comparing ourselves to others, all right? So you are on your own personal journey. The way things happen for you is completely unique to you. I've seen people, become amazing blue belts, purple belts even, but then, things changed, life happens, things fall apart, and they quit Jiu-Jitsu, all right? Or something happened that they couldn't come back from, and they don't even make it to black belt, you know what I mean? So you might have been comparing yourself to that person who was this amazing purple belt, got there so fast, was winning everything, and you're still like a new blue belt, and you guys started at the same time, and you're still trying to figure it out, and they look like they got it all, but then they don't even make it to black belt, all right? And you do, okay? I can go on and on with different examples. Everything clicks for that individual person in a different way, right? Everything clicks for everybody differently. And you might develop a key skill or a key thing earlier on. You might have had more hardships in the beginning that save you from hardships later. It's gonna get hard for everybody. At some point in time, I promise you, everyone is going to get gut checked. How bad do they want it? Are they going to continue on? How do they come back from this? Whether it's an injury, a competition loss, a string of losses, life. Maybe something happens that they lost their job. They got to relocate. They got to pick back up somewhere else. They got to do this. Family issues. You get a divorce. You got to do that. Life is going to happen. Things are going to happen. You're going to get gut checked. How much are you going to be able to keep showing up on the mats and not just go through the motions, but keep showing up and keep working to be the best version of you possible? That is completely unique to you and your journey. And so do not compare yourself to anybody else. Do not find yourself going out there to train with somebody just to purely win. Okay. our job every single night, it's not the winning or the losing or getting all the submissions or not getting submitted at all. It's just to get better, okay? That is it. And some of the best nights of training you're gonna have are gonna be the nights where you get 0 submissions, where you're put in all sorts of trouble, all right? And you just had to survive or work on a new skill that you're developing. Those are gonna be some of the key nights for you, all right? So remember, every round, every day, every minute of life in general, but when we're on the mats, like every time I roll with somebody, it's an opportunity to get better at something, all right? Not just do my A game every single time and win a round, okay? Or I know their game and I know how I can stall it out, and I just don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get, find myself in a bad spot, and I play safe, all right? Or I wait for a clock, okay? You're looking at the clock, or you're counting the score in your head. All very, very bad habits, all right? Let go of all of that. You gotta let it go, all right? I promise you, it will only hold you back. And, we're not trying to train to be tough, okay? And for all my older guys out there, hopefully this resonates with you even more, because you understand that you can't just go and compete and go ego ballistic style with every 20-year-old D1 wrestler that comes in or whatever, right? We have to have an approach, and we have to know that, this is a moment for me to find my way, to survive, to add a new weapon, to, limit myself, whatever the case may be. It's not just win and kill. All right, not just dominate. We can't do that, and our bodies will physically not be able to keep up with that as well.